Hi everyone, I am Dr. Shashank Prabhu and the founder of Point 99. I am a CAT 100 percentiler and an alumnus of FMS Delhi. Now a lot of people ask me this question as to why did I go for FMS in spite of having a 100 percentile at the CAT. So I thought I'll make this video and answer those questions in a rational, logical manner so that even you can make that decision at some point in time whenever you come across this kind of a situation. To give you some background, I took CAT for the first time in the year 2009. I was not able to get into the college of my choice. That's why I decided to take another attempt while working alongside in the year 2010. Now, throughout these 2 years, whenever I used to take mock tests, I used to get single digit AIRs. I always used to be in the 99.5 plus percentile bracket, and I was reasonably confident of getting a very good score at the CAT as well. But when the actual CAT happened in the year 2010, I ended up scoring a 93.79 percentile. I had done really well across the other entrance tests, because of which I ended up getting calls from XLRI, FMS, SIBM, IIFT, JBIMS, and so on. And I decided to take up FMS. So FMS used to have its own entrance test back then. And that's why I cleared it and I got through FMS that year. Now, when I was at FMS, I wanted to not end my CAT journey on that 93.79 note. I wanted to score well at the actual test because I had scored so well at the mocks and I was always a high potential candidate. I wanted to go through CAT again and give it another shot. That's when I decided to take CAT when I was at FMS. So I decided to appear for the CAT and I took the CAT. Not a lot of people knew that I was going to take the CAT that particular day. In fact, I remember calling up my mother as soon as the test was done. And I remember telling her that I would not be surprised if I end up getting a 100 percentile this year. And when the results came out in the Jan of 2012, I had scored that elusive 100 percentile. I had also applied to all the IIMs, because of which I ended up getting calls from all the 6 older IIMs, which were in my bucket list. Now, in spite of that, I decided not to go for the processes and not to join these IIMs eventually. Now, why did I do that? There were 5 broad reasons behind my decision. Most importantly, when I had taken the CAT, I had not taken it with the intent of switching from FMS and going to some other institute. But the 5 reasons that I thought of when it came to this decision making process was: reason number 1, I was doing relatively well at FMS. I had got an internship from TAS, which is one of the best companies on campus, be it IIMs or otherwise. That's why I was sorted in terms of my summer internship. I was also going to be a part of the placement committee at FMS, which is kind of a good deal whenever you are present at any B school. It's a very big CV point that you can have. The third reason why I decided to stay with FMS or choose FMS over going for any other IIM was I had marketing focus. And in case of marketing companies, if you look at the placement statistics at any of the top colleges, be it IIMs A, B, C, L, I, K, XLRI, FMS, or any of the top colleges, you will see that the same set of companies will visit all these campuses. I was reasonably certain that I wanted to pursue marketing as a career option, and that's why I decided to stay with FMS, because it would not have been a huge upgrade in terms of the companies that would be coming on campus. Also at FMS, what you have is a semester pattern, meaning that you will have tests every 4.5 months. Whereas at the IIMs, you have a trimester pattern, wherein you will have midterms, you will have end terms, and you will virtually be getting a test every 1.5 months or so. Now at FMS, it suited more of my style because I am a more relaxed individual. I don't really like people sitting on my head and telling me, okay, this has to be done, then this has to be done, then this has to be done. I am sufficiently motivated, disciplined, and aware that these are the things that I need to work on. And FMS gave me that opportunity to work on my projects. I could pursue an internship, I could pursue a live project, I could participate in competitions, I could do justice to my placement committee work, and so on. And that's basically an advantage that I had at FMS. Similarly, if I would have gone for an IIM, let's say, then what would have happened is I would have already finished 1 year at FMS, and then I would have to invest 2 more years at an IIM, which would have made my MBA journey of a good 3 years. So because of all the uncertainties associated with this particular switch, I decided to stay with FMS because I was reasonably well settled and I was doing really well. Now there could be a question. What if I would have got calls from the IIMs and FMS simultaneously? In that case, I would have mostly chosen the IIMs because the IIMs are a very strong brand name in themselves, and definitely you will have a lot of good experiences at the institutes. There are 4 broad reasons why you should select an IIM over FMS in case you end up getting calls from both these institutes simultaneously. The first thing that, as I mentioned, is the brand IIM that you have, and that will be with you for your lifetime. Although it might not make a lot of sense after 8 to 10 years into your career, but still it's a very strong brand name in itself, and definitely that will help you go places. The second reason why I would prefer an IIM or FMS is because they have a residential campus, meaning that you don't really have to worry about renting an apartment or staying in a hostel or commuting from one campus to the other and so on and so forth. So that makes your life a lot easier. You get everything under one roof and you don't really have to roam around a lot for being at a certain place. The third thing that I would talk about is the rigor that exists at many of these IIMs. While it could be negative in some context because it pressurizes you into doing things which might be against your will, but then of course rigor helps in the long run because you will essentially build the skills and the knowledge that will help you succeed at the corporate. And finally, the last thing that I am talking about in terms of the IIMs being slightly better than FMS is in terms of the finance/consulting focus. Although FMS has really strong placements when it comes to the finance companies and all of MBBs visit the campus, of course the IIMs also have these companies that have been visiting their campuses since a long time. So if you have a finance/consulting focus, then getting into an IIM might be a better decision than taking up FMS if you have both the colleges with you simultaneously. Now, I have nowhere mentioned anything about fees, not because I'm financially well-to-do or something. Of course, every penny would have made a difference to my long-term financial prospects back then. But then again, I realized it very early in my journey that you mostly are going to do an MBA only once in your lifetime. It is kind of an investment that you have to do. So even if the fees is slightly beyond your means, beyond your reach, you can still take up a loan and go for an MBA from a better B school, even if it means spending those 5-10 lakh rupees more than what you would have spent otherwise. So these were the reasons broadly why I chose FMS, or I chose to stay in FMS over going for an IIM process. And in case you end up getting calls from both the institutes, this is basically what you should be doing or what you should be thinking when it comes to making this decision. When I prepared for these tests, there wasn't a lot of guidance going on which could be trusted. And that's why I decided to pour all my experience into this YouTube channel called Point 99. I'm sure that you have subscribed to this channel. If you haven't, please do so that you can experience more such content that will help you make decisions, prepare for the CAT and other entrance tests, and finally pursue an MBA from the B school of your choice.